On the outskirts of the ancient city of Kapilavastu, nestled amidst lush green fields and tranquil rivers, lived a young prince named Siddhartha. Born into a life of luxury and privilege, Siddhartha was shielded from the harsh realities of the world outside the palace walls. His days were filled with lavish feasts, grand celebrations, and the company of loyal servants.
Despite his privileged upbringing, Siddhartha possessed a deep sense of empathy and compassion. He often wondered about the suffering of others and longed to find a way to alleviate their pain. One day, while venturing beyond the palace gates, Siddhartha encountered an old man, frail and bent, his face etched with the lines of a life lived in hardship. The sight of the old man's suffering struck Siddhartha to his core, awakening him to the harsh realities of life beyond the palace walls. On another occasion, Siddhartha came across a sick man, his body ravaged by disease, his eyes filled with despair. Siddhartha felt a profound sense of sadness and helplessness, realizing the fragility of human life and the inevitability of suffering. On another occasion, Siddhartha came across a sick man, his body ravaged by disease, his eyes filled with despair. Siddhartha felt a profound sense of sadness and helplessness, realizing the fragility of human life and the inevitability of suffering. These encounters ignited a spark of enlightenment within Siddhartha. He began to question the purpose of his sheltered existence, wondering if there was more to life than the pursuit of pleasure and material possessions. He yearned to find a way to end suffering, not just for himself, but for all living beings. Driven by this newfound purpose, Siddhartha renounced his life of luxury and embarked on a spiritual journey. He wandered the countryside, seeking guidance from wise teachers and immersing himself in the teachings of various philosophies. Yet, despite his diligent efforts, Siddhartha remained unsatisfied, unable to find the answers he sought. One day, while meditating beneath a Bodhi tree, Siddhartha was overcome by a profound realization. He understood that the root cause of suffering was attachment and desire. By clinging to worldly possessions, pleasures, and relationships, we set ourselves up for inevitable pain and disappointment. Armed with this newfound wisdom, Siddhartha emerged from his meditation as a fully enlightened being, now known as Gautam Buddha. He dedicated his life to sharing his teachings with the world, guiding others on the path to enlightenment. Buddha's teachings emphasize the importance of the Eightfold Path, a set of guidelines for ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. He taught his followers to practice mindfulness, to be present in the moment, and observe their thoughts and emotions without judgment. He encouraged them to cultivate compassion, to understand and empathize with the suffering of others. And he urged them to practice equanimity, to accept the impermanence of all things, and let go of attachment and desire.
Why do some people look so sad and tired, Mother?
My dear Siddhartha, there is suffering in the world, my child. People get sick, they lose loved ones, and they face many challenges.
But why must there be suffering? Can't we do something to stop it?
That is a question many people have asked, my son. Some believe that suffering is inevitable, a part of life. Others believe that we can find ways to reduce suffering through kindness, compassion, and understanding.
I want to find a way to end suffering, Mother. I want to help people live happy and peaceful lives.
Young Prince, the root of suffering lies in our attachments and desires. We cling to things, to people, and to pleasures, and when we lose them, we suffer. We also crave things we don't have, and this craving leads to dissatisfaction and unhappiness. The path to liberation lies in understanding the impermanence of all things. Everything changes, everything passes away, nothing lasts forever. When we accept this, we begin to let go of our attachments and desires.
Siddhartha, sitting in meditation. What is the true nature of reality? What is the source of suffering? How can I find peace and happiness? A great light fills Siddhartha's mind, and he is overwhelmed by a deep understanding of the universe. Siddhartha. I have found the answers I seek. The root of suffering lies in ignorance. We are unaware of the true nature of reality, which is impermanence, change, and non-self. We believe in a separate self, an ego, and we cling to it, causing ourselves pain. When we realize the interconnectedness of all things, we let go of this illusion of self and find liberation from suffering. Siddhartha emerges from his meditation, now known as Gautam Buddha. Buddha. I will share my teachings with the world, guiding others on the path to enlightenment. Buddha spends the rest of his life teaching his disciples and spreading his message of compassion, wisdom, and liberation.